Hey, what's going on, Emily?
Not much. What about you?
Not much. How's your day been?
It's not Monday, so that's a plus. But
That's good. We're getting closer to the weekend. Just real quick, I just want to get a little bit to know about get to know you a little bit better. Just tell me about yourself briefly.
I am a senior. I am actually graduating in less than a month. I am so happy. Yeah, it's a communications major. I transferred out here, so I've only been here for 2 years at Tech.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to Alaska this summer to work at a lodge, so
Oh, that'll be fun.
I hope so. We don't know.
Better get the winter clothes out.
I know. It'll be fine.
Okay, so I'm going to be persuading you today and interviewing about why we should lower college rates. Just kind of give you some background knowledge of what's going on with that. My first question for you is if you could go to any university besides Texas Tech, I mean, this is obviously where we all want to be,
hmm
where would you go and why?
So initially, I was looking at out of state in Colorado, just
Okay.
because the mountains have my heart so
Hmm.
much. And communications, you can basically go anywhere. You don't need to be in a certain geographical location for that. So I was going to look into out of state, but I mean, let's be realistic. That's way too expensive. And so I am here at Texas Tech, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but
Oh, no, it's the best school, obviously.
totally.
Um, are you aware of like the rapid rise of the college tuition rates that's been going on in the last decade or so?
I realized that they've been getting higher each year. Even we just see that with our tuition bill. I wasn't sure if it was rapid or not,
Okay.
but
Like I know kind of what you were just saying, but when you were picking a college, you said you were looking at out of state. What was the difference in costs for out of state versus Texas Tech for you?
it was at least double the cost.
Okay.
What I noticed.
Okay. And did you ever consider starting at a community college beforehand, or was it just straight you want to go 4-year university?
So I'm actually one of 6 kids, and so our parents made it clear you are going to community college the
Okay.
first 2 years, which it was great because I
Yeah.
was able to pay for that out of pocket.
Hmm.
Um, so my debts are a lot lower. But yeah, I saved a lot of money. Loved community college.
Oh, it's great. I mean, I encourage it for everybody. People always say community college is boring or it's just like an extra high school, but I think it's good for everyone to do.
hmm
Um, Next question for you is: did you apply for any financial aid when you came to Tech, and if so, did you get any, or how did that process go down for you?
So Tech actually has some decent transfer scholarships, which I was able to get because I had a pretty good GPA. So I
Mm-hmm.
got the highest one, which is really good. It pays for about 3/4 or 2/3 ish of the tuition,
Yeah,
um, which is great. Plus, I live off campus, so it's slightly cheaper.
yeah,
I don't have to do the meal planner thing. So it was a fairly easy process just to apply for everything. Yeah, that's that.
cool. Um, I mean, like I was saying, I think everybody should be required to apply for financial aid just because I think it can only benefit you. And I remember in high school, people were complaining about, oh, like I have to write an essay for this scholarship, blah, blah, blah. But I think as much financial aid as we can get, I think the better.
Oh yeah.
Um, so what are your thoughts and opinions on the amount that we have to pay if, say, we didn't have financial aid or didn't? What are your thoughts and opinions on that?
If we didn't have financial aid,
If just like so, say
ooh,
it wasn't, we didn't have financial aid in Texas Tech. We'll call it Tech. Was $25,000 a year. What are your
ooh.
thoughts and opinions on that?
Either I'd be really in debt or I just honestly wouldn't go to college because
Okay,
that would be ridiculous if we had to pay all that out of pocket.
and I think that's part of the reason why that's why I'm persuading to lower the college rates because there's so many people that it's just so expensive. I mean, for 1 year of college, it's worth the car.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's a house pay. I mean, so many things. And I actually found this stat. According to the College Board, the public university rates have increased by over $6,000 in the last 10 years.
Stupid.
So yeah, it's a lot of money. Um,
Mhm.
are you going to have to end up paying any student debt when you get out?
I am. Yes, I am. Yeah.
I found this really cool stat too. Today, about 70% of all college students will graduate with a significant amount of loans, which
Mm, I
is
believe it. It's sad, but
being punished for getting our education. And according to CNBC, there's over 44 million Americans that collectively hold nearly $1.5 trillion in student debt as of 2018, at the end of 2018.
Dang.
That means that 1 in every 4 American college students are paying student loans after graduation.
Sucks.
So, yeah.
Change it.
Okay, this is a question. It sounds off topic, but it's not. Are you planning on having kids?
Yeah, that'd be the goal one day. See what happens.
So you said you're a senior, so around my age. So we'll call it between 20 and 25 years when our kids will go to college. That's if we get going after college. Did you know that? So say we'll call it 23 years from now. Texas Tech will be between $40,000 and $42,000 with no financial aid.
Dang.
When our kids go to college.
Oh my gosh. Maybe they won't be going to college then at that point. Like, that's a lot of money.
That is like ridiculous how much money that is.
That's horrible.
So, I mean, obviously a lot of people want to have college rates lowered because it's a reward to graduate high school and like get rewarded with going to college because it's an awesome thing and it's a great start. But what do you think some of the objections would be to cut into college rates?
To lowering them?
Yeah.
Maybe people might think, oh, well, then the teachers won't get paid as much. Just the faculty and staff, they need to be paid. Then if everything else in the environment and the economy keeps going up as well, and they start dropping their prices, well, how are they going to get all their resources and keep everything going? I guess that could be an argument.
So if I saw something that was really interesting, if colleges were to cut their tuition rates, most likely they would cut their financial aid offerings. Which makes sense because if you lower the cost, you're going to make people pay the full price of the school. And also, if you were to lower the prices, it would be a competitive advantage for all the other schools, and it would increase the market appeal of the schools, but not for the students. And the enrollment and revenue would decrease overall.
Oh.
So, yeah. And personally, I believe that, like you were talking about the teachers and professors like wanting to get paid and get their normal salary. But I think if you cut the cost of tuition, that's going to lower the curriculum of the classes. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that does make sense. I think everything, yeah, if you would cut the cost, it would all go down.
Because I think if you lower the cost of tuition, more people are going to go, which means that the teachers probably aren't going to get as much money, which means they might not care as much. Yeah.
That could also be an issue.
Yeah. Another question I have for you is, if the U.S. government were to lower the cost of tuition across the board, like private, 4 years, community, all that, how do you believe it will affect the economy as a whole?
You know, I had not thought about that, actually. I just keep getting mad that tuition keeps going up, but I'm guessing negatively, or will it be positive? I mean,
I was just asking you. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I would hope positively, but I don't know.
I could see both ways. I could see positively because more people would go, which would be more people paying. But I could also see negatively because you're losing the money that we're paying right now.
True.
But I don't know. So it's a hard topic. It's a tough topic to talk about.
Because possibly maybe more people are getting educated, so that makes the job field more competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
And I think it's a privilege to go to college and get an education because we all want to be the most successful people we can be. But I also think there comes a point where you don't want to go to college when you're going to leave with $80,000 in debt.
Yeah.
And there's also a point where you're like, I don't want to go to community college. I want to go be with my friends. And your parents are like, okay, that's on you then, you know. True. Which I know multiple of my best friends are doing the exact same thing. What do you think some of the reasonable solutions to this issue would be? How do you think we can achieve lowering the costs?
Oh gosh. You know, I actually thought of this last year and I made a list of things and I was so happy with it and I can't remember what they were.
Well, I think a few of them would be, first of all, encourage everyone to start a community college. Because if you if you get to the point where everyone's going to community college, universities are going to run out of money. They're going to be forced to lower their costs.
Good point.
Because, I mean, say, I don't even know, I think there's 20,000 students here at Tech, but if you were like, if you didn't cut them and they just kept rising over time as everything in the world becomes more expensive. So say in 10 years, maybe there's 15,000 and those 5,000 go to community college. Eventually they're going to get to a point where they need money. Like they need, you know, so I would encourage everyone to start a community college for a year or two, get your associates and then move on. Another thing that I thought about, which I think would be awesome, but I doubt they'll do it. Hope they do, but you reward students in college with financial aid or additional aid so it gives you an incentive to make good grades. So say you make the dean's list, you get a certain amount of that next semester, or you make the president's list, or chancellor's list, or I think that's what they call it now. I don't know.
Yes. Something like that. Yes.
The other thing was one of the other things I remember when I was applying to all the colleges, because I went to school in Texas, so I just was applying everywhere, is the cost of actually applying.
Right? Why do you have to pay $75 to apply to a college? That is so stupid.
And even if sometimes I know I applied to A&M and I knew I wasn't going to go there, but I just wanted to apply just to see it, to know that maybe, okay, if I don't like Texas Tech, I can transfer, that I think that's ridiculous as well. And I also think that, like I said earlier, we have to apply for all the scholarships as possible. As much as it sounds bad. Oh, I have to do an essay for a $500 scholarship. It's okay.
If it means $500, great. If not, you worked on your essay writing skills. So,
I mean, I think overall it'll help you in the long run, either writing or getting the money. And then the last thing I saw for a possible solution was you restrict access to the federal student loans. So if you cut the student loans, the university is going to lose people coming in. So if you just cut student loans in general, there's going to be more people that be like, okay, screw that, I'm going to community college because I can't get any money off. Which will then force the university, because they're losing all their students, to drop the rates so they can get them back in. You see what I'm saying by that?
Yeah, that does make sense.
I mean, that would be a tough one to achieve, but out of all those, what do you think is the most achievable one?
I feel like the most achievable would be to raise awareness of go to community college, save money, because that's an easy, the students can control that, the parents can control that. It's just to do it.
Yeah.
Then maybe figure out how to waive the application fees.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I think if you go in and try to cut financial aid, that's going to take years because everything is slow.
It'd be a long process, but it could be done.
Which would be great if it could. I just feel like that's more of a long-term goal, the most effective probably. But yeah.
Do you have any other questions about the actual issue itself? Do you have anything that you wonder a lot?
Were there other schools you wanted to go to that were way more expensive?
Yeah, there were. I wanted to go. So originally, I wanted to go to Oklahoma State, which was out of state, and you had to have a certain GPA in college or in high school, which was for Oklahoma State's just like Texas Tech. It's not that hard to get into, and you had to pretty much have a 4.0 in high school. And being young and stupid, didn't have a 4.0. And
it was a 4.0 in high school.
Yeah, it was I think it was 13,000 more a year, and I was like,
no.
And both my parents went to UT, and I was like, obviously I can't get in there. But after a year of tech, I was like, I'll try and apply, and I applied. And I think it was 38 per year.
Gotcha.
No, but other than that,
Okay.
Any other questions or?
I don't think so. You covered a lot of the topics, pros and cons. So, yeah.
What do you think about lowering college costs? Do you think it's a yay or a nay?
I think it's a yay. I think that it's a lot easier to talk about it than actually do it, but you have definitely convinced me that. I think the kid thing that you brought up, that our kids will be paying $40,000 for a public state school, that hurts my heart. I don't want to pay for that. So
no, I know. And my uncle, he just had a kid, and his wife is Big Baylor. she went to Baylor, and her entire family went to Baylor. And he looked it up. So my baby cousin was born, I think, 2.5 months ago. By the time he'd get to college, it'd be close to 100 per year. That's
No,
it's private, but I'm like, that's a
no,
house.
that is, yeah, no,
House.
no. So yes, you've convinced me. Things need to change. College rates need to drop because that's stupid.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure interviewing you.
You too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, and good luck with all you do.
Ugh, you too.